Howdy and welcome to the 10 at 10 for July 16th of 2026. We're going to talk about 10 of the 20 trees getting listed at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, we can't thank y'all enough so much for following us here on the MrMaple Show and shopping with us on Mr. Maple. We're a family, smaller business, mail order business, and we ship directly to your door. We do the largest selection of Japanese maples in the country. And again, we're talking about 10 of the 20 trees getting listed that list at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today.
So we just celebrated 4th of July not too long ago, and we're starting off with Acer Palmatum, Tiny Stars. Man, Talon Buckle's introduction. And what I love about this tree most off is that name Tiny fits it so well. That small foliage you get on it just sticks out so well.
And this really does this star shape in a unique way. The leaf sort of presents itself. You'll notice that the leaf base is cupped upward just a little bit, giving this a truly star shape. Tiny Stars goes to oranges to reds in the fall. It's a small to mid-sized tree, reaching about 8 feet in 10 years. That smaller shaped leaf is really interesting. It makes it an ideal candidate for bonsai, but also a unique tree to have out there as this tree that's going to have these smaller shaped leaves.
And when you talk about that fall color, those oranges and reds, what I like about with this one is you almost kind of get it. It's not just that it's going to be on that orange side or red side. You kind of get both those colors going on with this tree at the same time.
Yeah, this is a unique tree that we try to offer quite a bit. It was introduced about the same time Talon introduced many of what we call the newer ghosts. So about the same time Celebration, about the same time Strawberry Spring came out. So did Tiny Stars. And I'm telling you, this is a cool tree that I think more people need in their garden. Guys, next up we have Peve Stanley. Now this is a very special Japanese maple. It almost is like every lobe has almost its own kind of leaf stem, but not quite. It has actually, the leaf lobe itself gets so narrow at the base that it almost gives you a cecilifolium look, but it also almost gives you a heavy Matsumori look. And I think it's more towards the latter. It is so special and unique that there's not another tree like it. It's a selection by Piet Vergelt of Holland. You may have seen him with trees like Peve Starfish, Peve Minaret. That Peve stands for Piet Vergelt. And Peve Stanley is one that is very special. Because those lobes are so deeply divided, sometimes, and they're so round in the center, sometimes they'll be overlapping, or one lobe will almost try to cross over with the other. That gives this tree a very interesting texture for the landscape and garden.
What I like about this is great red upright tree, but from a distance, as cut as those leaves are, from a distance, you might from back off say, is that a lace leaf? And then you walk up on it. This is one of those, you know what? Pair this up with that black lace in your garden. Man, you're going to get such contrast off those twos, but with those dark colors and those cut leaves between the two, I think would look fantastic.
Now, Peve Stanley will end up getting about 6 to 8 feet in height and width in 10 years. So it's almost equally as wide as it is tall. It has a deep black color out there. It gives you that deep color for good color contrast in the garden. Love Peve Stanley. It's a tree that's outside the box that needs to be inside your garden.
Okay, guys, now we're coming at you with Acer Palmatum Katsura. Talk about the quintessential spring tree.
In the spring, Katsura is one of the first trees to leaf out. And when it does it in a very dynamic way. It leaves out with an orange border around each and every leaf. The center of the leaf is a yellow-green, sometimes almost pure yellow. When you have those two color contrasts against each other, it's dynamic up close. From a distance, you get an orange to yellow color. When you have this in the landscape in the spring, it's leafed out before almost everything else. The unusual thing about being leafed out early is you'd think that meant that it would get hit with frost. Typically, this tree has been fairly frost resistant even though it leaves out so early. It's very rare to get frost damage on Katsura itself. This in the springtime is simply amazing. And then late spring to late summer, to mid to late summer, you still get a yellow-green out there in the landscape in the sun. This contrasts with many of the other greens in the landscape and gives you a really nice upright tree that can really just steal the show in the spring and grab some really nice summer interest as well.
Zone 5 through 9, this is one that you want for your collection, and it's just such a classic in the trade as well.
Now, we talked about it being frost resistant, but it's also fairly heat tolerant. It's an easy tree to grow in the garden, and it's going to add a lot of pop especially in that early spring time frame. Did I mention it's got good fall color? It's a winner all the way around.
Okay, guys, more of the stars. We're coming with you with Beni Hoshi, also known as Ruby Stars.
Yeah, this is a selection that's introduced jointly by Olsen and Del Laux. One called it Beni Hoshi, the other called it Ruby Stars. It has small shaped leaves that's actually very similar to the shape of tiny stars. It really has that nice star-shaped leaf. But these leaves are ruby in the spring to a nice brick red in late spring to early summer with green veins. It gives good color contrast, especially in that summer flush where you see that chartreuse veins in that ruby foliage. This is a very unique dwarf Japanese maple. The shape is very dense, compact, and more narrow overall. I love Ruby Stars.
I just love looking at it when the leaves start getting dark to that kind of maroon color and you start getting those green veins in there. And you pointed out that new growth on top of it. This is one of those, whenever we walk into the greenhouses, or no matter where it's sitting, you see that red on top and it just glows. It's going to do the same thing in your garden as well.
A nice dwarf reaching that 6 foot in height by about 3 foot in width in 10 years. This thing gives you some great color out there in the spring and the summer with that cherry red to maroon color. When the fall hits, you get opposite colors of what you'd expect. Instead of continuing with that red theme, you get a nice shade of yellow with sometimes a little bit of orange. That's a stark contrast and adds some dynamics to the garden just by that simple color change. You know, oddly enough, Beni Hoshi was one of the reasons why we started being called the Area 51 collection. Our place where we hid our really cool plants was called Area 51. When we went to garden shows, sometimes Dad would sell plants while we were gone. And one of the plants he sold was about a 15-year-old Ruby Stars or Beni Hoshi. And while we were gone, I was like, Dad, that's one of our 2 stock plants. And our friend Richard Bomar said, you need to make that Area 51, just no one in or out. And eventually it became the Area 51 collection. Guys, I love this plant. It's one that I've grown for quite a while, and it's easy to grow, great shape, and great colors.
Okay, guys, we're coming to you with Acer Palmatum Van Essen's Gold. Man, I love it with these type of leaf structure, with the cut in that and the foliage. But who doesn't like a little gold, a little yellow in the color? Leaves out with that yellow golden color, and then as we get into the summer, we get that green, but then going back in the fall, we go back to that golden color again. This
is a nice divided Matsumori leaf. It has bronze orange colors on the new growth. It has a heavily divided leaf. Oddly enough, one of my friends was thinking about buying the old Van Essen's nursery, and at the time we didn't need liners, and we helped him buy the place by purchasing liners we didn't need so that he could actually buy the old Van Essen's nursery. And this is sort of named after that since he'd bought that nursery. It's got a good upright form with a slight semi-pendulous habit. It's got a heavy Matsumori leaf. The closest thing on the leaf shape would be something akin of like Mura Hibari. It's heavily divided. It is a strong, vigorous grower. That bronze gold spring color and that golden fall color really can add a lot to the garden.
Get you one today. Okay, guys, let's get Corbin's saying that he's getting going. Let's get it trending with the Reticulation Nation with Ruby de Sofia.
This is the plant that has those knuckles, develops those knuckles. It was found as a seedling Talon Buchholz sold as what he called the Rising Stars. They're seedlings that he had went through evaluation and then sold off to local garden centers or garden centers across America. One of our friends found one of those seedlings and said, you know, I'm going to grow this one. And it has this kind of hooking-like shape to it. It has some really nice ambers to pastels as it's leafing out too, so it's got some good, strong reticulation. This is definitely a really cool reticulated Japanese maple I think more people need to be growing.
And you talking about where you get those curves, where you get that knuckle in there, where it gets that name, that ruby, those ruby colors that you get on that, adding just another element to texture and color in the garden as well.
This thing's going to be colorful, make a great container plant. I like the structure on this. It's different than what we typically think. It's that semi-pendulous on steroids where you really get some nice hooks in there. Awesome tree, awesome plant. Make a great container plant as well.
Okay, guys, coming to you now with Acer Palmatum Firecracker. On some standards, they're a little bit higher. But man, what I love about this is that it's that weeping lace leaf. But as it grows up, it kind of grows out, but then it puts off that weeping shoots where it gets its name Firecracker. It looks like firecrackers in the sky.
Yeah, think about something with a shape more akin to something like Lionheart, where it's got semi-pendulous, semi-upright habit, a little more open structure at an early age. And that's where it just shoots up and out like a firecracker. It was a selection that the original working name on it was Weston Burt Super Ruby, until Weston Burt said they'd rather have another name put on it. And Esfeld Nursery actually patented this in Europe under the name Firecracker. It holds its color red well throughout the season, and this is a beautiful, beautiful lace leaf. And it's one of the lace leaves that gets big fairly quickly. So give this tree some space, and this tree can look like a really old tree in a short period of time for a weeping red lace leaf.
And also, just guys, talk about that foliage. It's that lace leaf, but they're long. They seem elongated, unlike some of the other lace leaves out there. So it just gives a really unique look for a lace leaf. Pair this up with your Orangiola. Pair this up with your Tamukiyama. You're going to get different contrast, different look off of them.
Grab you a really cool high graft today.
Okay, guys. Acer Palmatum, Scarlet Rose. And I love any tree that's vigorous, and this is going to be one of those that's going to put some vigor on fairly quickly.
This is a tree that for some reason fell out of production at MrMaple. Think of this tree as a slightly wider growing Mila. I mean, the colors in the spring are similar, where you get some just amazing orange, red, kind of shiny, metallic-y that you can't really explain. Green after that. New growth during the summer, though, is a rosy red after that. This thing is heat tolerant. It's vigorous. It's durable. A lot of our customers that we've had for years and years, I'm not talking about the last 5 years. I'm talking from like 2012, 2015. They have this in their garden. They started asking me, when is this coming back? And I was like, oh shoot, I got to get that tree back in production. This thing is beautiful. It's vigorous, and it's going to look really beautiful in your garden.
Look at the size of these already in these 1 gallons. Going to already make a presence in your garden already this size. You don't want to miss out on these. Okay, guys, it's getting hot in here with Acer oliverianum Hot Blonde.
It really is getting hot in here. It's almost noon in here in these greenhouses. Hot Blonde is an amazing heat-tolerant selection that we introduced here at MrMaple. It's an Acer oliverianum X Shirasanum aureum. That's pretty crazy. You get the late leaf out of Shirasanum aureum. You get the orange border of Acer Shirasanum aureum when it leaves out. And you can even get some coral pinks on the new growth there in the summer. You get the colors of Acer Shirasanum aureum with that just yellow to yellow-green color. But you get the heat tolerance of Acer oliverianum. So this thing is vigorous. It's super sun tolerant. This is part of our Heat Seeker series we have at MrMaple. Check them out. Hot Blonde, the original founding member, can give you some great yellow colors out there and handle a high amount of heat, more than any of the other yellows.
Man, I do believe there was Corbin and I were talking. We're like, you know what? I can see this becoming the quintessential street tree in the future. This tree is going to take over. You're going to see this everywhere. You got that spring interest. You got that summer interest. You got that fall interest, those reds that it puts off. But then it's heat tolerant. It's such a sturdy tree. And right now, you know, these are in these shade houses that are shaded out. But man, out there in full sun, this holds its yellow all the way through the summer and just looks so beautiful in any landscape.
The fall colors are amazing as well. You get some bright orange reds. Guys, this is a winner all the way around. If you don't have a Hot Blonde, get you one today. You won't regret it. Guys, next up, and lastly on today's 10 at 10, we've talked about 10 of the 20 trees. There's a secret 10 in this email you can sign up for on MrMaple. The last one we're talking about today is Acer Palmatum X Purple Curl.
You know, I've heard it called Acer Palmatum Crusty Knuckles. I don't know where I heard that from, but I heard that used before. But man, it does. It gives that curling of the leaves, that molting that it gets. To me, this is one of the most unique trees you can have in your garden. I mean, it just does everything. It's definitely a collector's tree, but why not just the average grower? Brian Roll picked one up and put it in his garden. And he's like, you know what? I just kind of left it alone. I give it afternoon shade and I just kind of left it alone. And it is just amazing. You got these leaves that are just curling into those knuckles with that molting. And look at this, the new growth on top popping off red like that. It's such a unique tree. It's a special tree that you should have in your landscape for sure.
Like, as you can see here, the new growth will be flat and you can get some really nice purples in there, some lime green veins. It's on the older growth where it really gets that curling effect that is so common with purple curl. Don't worry, this growth right here will return to this interior growth you see in the interior the following year. This is a tree will end up getting about 8 foot by 8 foot in 10 years. Selection by Talon Buchholz. It's a tree every collector loves, but it's probably not your first Japanese maple. You're probably starting out with like a, Emperor One or a Tamukiyama, but once you start getting down the line, you start to realize how special this is. It was found as a seedling from Amber Ghost by Talon Buchholz. After seeing Our Magic Moon, he thinks, the way the leaf cups down a little bit, there may be some Shirasalanum parentage to this as well. So the dad may have been an Acer Shirasalanum, even though the mother itself we know was an Amber Ghost. Beautiful, rare selection, hitting the 10 at 10 today at 10 a.m. They're going to go out quick. So make sure you check out fast because our website doesn't hold it for you until you complete that checkout process.
Guys, that's all 10 of the trees for today's, but like you said before, that's just 10 out of the 20 that's going to get released at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Now remember, if you're wanting to figure out when our next open house is, there's a chance we have one sooner, but the next one that we already have on the calendar is on Labor Day itself, Labor Day Monday. It's gonna be from 8 to 4 here at Mr. Maple. You can go ahead and make your plans to stay Sunday night in Hendersonville to be able to come to our open house on Monday morning. Guys, we'd love to have you. There's a lot of fun things happening that weekend as well. So if you're here on that weekend, there's the Apple Festival here in Hendersonville. So it's a fun weekend here between the Apple Festival and the Mr. Maple Festival, where we'd love to have you. And you can shop these greenhouses, see some cool plants. Always a fun time at our open houses.
And remember, like, subscribe, share, and we have 7 days a week, something coming out on the Mr. Maple Show. So let people know, let your gardening friends know, share the world of Japanese maples with them. You might open them up to a whole new world.
Y'all take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.